Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And if you are listening on the podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited to tell you guys this crazy story. I have a crazy story to tell you guys today. It actually happened yesterday. I unlocked a past life memory in a way I never have before. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. And I'm really excited to talk about just what happened. And yeah, there's a few things that I want to dive into. It's really interesting because my last episode I filmed yesterday before this experience happened. I filmed an episode specifically on letting go and why it is really difficult for us to let go. And I unlocked a whole other layer for myself personally as to why it's hard for me to let go of certain things in a way I didn't realize. So this is kind of like a story time based on what I experienced yesterday, but also a part two as to why it is so difficult to let go. And it's like a little window into the soul, a window into the soul. It's really interesting. Our soul is so complex. There's so much. I think that there's so much to the soul that we simply are not able to comprehend in this human form, and that's okay. That's okay. We don't need to understand everything. We're not supposed to understand everything. That would defeat the purpose of us being here. When we pass and cross over, it will make all the sense in the world to us again. So, sometimes I think we get so wrapped up in trying to figure out the whys, and we don't necessarily need to know the whys. It's just really important to enjoy the life that we are living now, because life is a gift. Life is the gift. Life is a gift. And it's really easy to forget that because there's a lot of turmoil in this world. There's a lot of pain in this world, but it's understanding that pain is also a gift, and it has to do with the evolution of the soul. And we chose to come down here. We chose to learn certain lessons, and without the polarity, without the good and the bad, we wouldn't learn what we came here to learn. If it was all just love and light, it would defeat the purpose of us being here. And that's easy for me to say when my life, don't get me wrong, I've been through my fair share of turmoil in this lifetime, but it's easy to look at people's lives, and you look at someone's life and it's like, oh my God, they've been through so much loss or so much in this lifetime compared to other people you look at, and seemingly their life is just so easy, and it can be really hard to understand why that is. And I received a deeper layer of understanding as to why that is yesterday. And I kind of knew this already, but I resonated with this already because people kind of talk about this. However, I kind of experienced it for myself, if that makes sense, which kind of unlocked a deeper layer of understanding for me. So I'm just going to talk about my experience. I'm going to talk about what happened. And yeah, just like the crazy story, and also another layer as to why letting go can be so difficult. Because logically, we know that we need to let go of things, and that we shouldn't hold on to things, and we should trust the universe, and we should let go. Listen to my other episode, the most recent one, other than this one that I uploaded, if you haven't listened to that yet, because I kind of talk about that as to why letting go is difficult in this lifetime. But yeah, anyways, I'm like rambling now. Let's dive in. Yesterday, I actually did a little bit of a psilocybin journey, quite unexpected, to be honest. I only really do journeys when I feel called, and I really trust my heart. I trust my soul. I trust my intuition. Sometimes I go through really, really big periods of time where I don't touch plant medicine, and there's other periods where I do it a little bit more often. It just really kind of depends, and I really trust myself. It's not a one size fits all, so I really want to make that very clear. This is not me saying that you should be going out to do plant medicine. I really want to make that clear as well. So on my journey, I unlocked a few past life memories, which I want to make very clear was not my intention going into the journey. So after you listen to this, please don't go do a journey yourself and hope to unlock a past life memory. I don't think you should necessarily ever go into journeys with an intention like that. I mean, to each their own, but personally, I believe that spirit knows what's best for you. And, you can ask for insight on certain things, like why you are a certain way or X, Y, and Z, and just trust that the universe will deliver what you need, and they will open up what you need. If you need a past life memory to understand something better about yourself, then they will unlock that for you. It shouldn't necessarily be something you go and look for. Similar to when I experienced my Kundalini awakening, I wasn't like trying to have a Kundalini awakening. It just happened. And when you're on the true spiritual path, which to me is the true path of self-love and healing and coming home to self, you will unlock these beautiful things on your path when you're supposed to unlock them. And everyone's path is different. One path is not better than the other. So me telling you the story, just please keep that in mind. Don't compare your journey to my journey. Don't go have, a mushroom journey with the intention of unlocking a past life memory because you want to experience that too. It really wasn't my intention, but it's what I needed at this time to further my healing. So that's just what happened. Anyways, I felt really called to do a plant medicine journey. It really came out of nowhere. The day before, I went for a really long walk on the dikes, and I'm just in nature basically, and I was by myself, no music. It's one of my favorite ways to just kind of clear my mind, and I just intuitively knew, like, you're doing a plant medicine journey tomorrow. It just kind of came to me out of nowhere. So I was like, okay, Spirit, like, I trust you. And about a couple months before that, I was gifted mushrooms. I was gifted psilocybin mushrooms, and I've been gifted it on more than one occasion on my journey. And I know that whenever I am gifted it, whenever it comes to me, that's kind of Spirit's way of, here you go, honey, it's time. Like, there's something for you to see here. We have something more to teach you. It's never really something I look for. So that's something else I say too. Like, if you're meant to do plant medicine, trust that it will come to you when you're ready, or when you're supposed to have that sort of experience, if you are supposed to have that sort of experience. Because again, all roads are different. All roads lead to the same place, essentially. Our goal is to come home to ourselves, and there are so many different ways of doing that. So again, I just want to make that very clear. This was simply my journey. Anyways, so I was gifted the psilocybin mushrooms about a month ago, 2 months ago. And I remember when I was gifted it, I was kind of like, interesting. I wonder what Spirit has planned for me, because I know that whenever it comes into my reality, there's something there for me to learn. There's something there for me there's something that they're wanting to teach me. And because to me, like plant medicine, it's not just something I do to party. It's something, to me, they're teachers. It's sacred teachers. It's like the body of Christ, in my opinion. It's these tools that really help us connect, that help us learn, that help us discover more about ourselves, that help us heal, that help us, become more enlightened. And to me, it's sacred. It's sacred. It's not something that I just do for fun, just to have a good time. I really make a ceremony out of it. I pray over it. It's very sacred to me. So anyways, I was gifted the psilocybin, and then I was out on my walk the day before yesterday, and I had the message of like, you're doing a journey tomorrow. And I was like, okay, well, my weekend happened to clear up out of nowhere. I know it's not a coincidence. And I knew that I was to take the psilocybin that I was gifted. That was clear as well. So I trusted it. I woke up yesterday morning. I felt really called to film an episode on letting go, which was not a coincidence at all, because this journey helped me let go of something. Like, this past life memory gave me a deeper understanding of self, which allowed me to let go even more. And it really made me realize that we do bring things in from past lives. We do carry things over. I've heard that before, and I kind of resonated with it before. I was like, yeah, maybe it's true. Maybe we do carry things over from past lives, but maybe we don't. I was very open-minded, but I'm the type of person where when I experience something for myself, then I really believe it. Not that I didn't believe it before. I did resonate with it, but like I said, having this experience really helped me understand it at a deeper level. And again, this is my experience. This is my belief. If you don't resonate, or if you don't believe what I'm saying, that's okay. That's totally okay. I'm just simply sharing my experience. So take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. I would love to hear your experiences as well in the comments below. This really made me realize that we do carry things over from past lives. And when I say past lives, that's the way our mind can comprehend the different lives that we've had, because we know that everything is happening simultaneously and time is actually not linear. So everything really is happening all at once, but that's too much for our little human minds to comprehend. So because we are experiencing time here linearly, we know those things to be a past lives. So this came to me as a past life. So I did the letting go video in the morning. I also came across a video on my TikTok where it was about these parents who tragically lost 3 of their kids. And I remember just like feeling so deeply for them and thinking like, oh my gosh, like no parent deserves to lose a child or loss like that. 3 kids all in one go. It was a tragic accident, a drunk driving accident, and my heart really went out to them, and it really just had me reflecting on life and different people's lives and journeys, and how some people really experience a lot of grief in one lifetime. And it's kind of like, why do some people experience so much hardship and other people don't experience nearly as much hardship? I never really understood that. My thought in the past was, we live multiple lives and we're here to live and learn based on what our souls came here to learn. So I believe that through our different lives, we all experience all of it essentially, and we don't experience all of it in one lifetime though. So some lifetimes are going to be harder than other lifetimes. That was kind of my belief before, which makes sense based on what I experienced yesterday, and I'll get into that a little more. But I remember seeing that video and just really, my heart really going out to that family. And about a couple weeks ago, I was driving and there was a car in front of me, and on the back of the car it said, "You will never be alone again." And I remember seeing that on the car, and I just immediately started crying. I don't know what it was, but it elicited this deep emotion like from my soul that I didn't understand, and I just started sobbing. And I was like, whoa, that's interesting. You will never be alone again. Like, I just felt so much emotion, and I didn't really understand it, but whatever, I just let myself feel it, and I knew it was significant, but I didn't think about it too much. Fast forward to the journey, and there was some other things that were going on at the beginning of the journey, things like quite normal for me, like spirit has been doing a lot of work on my body physically, upgrades and stuff, which I know a lot of people are going through this at this time. It's not just me. So that was happening, and I was just kind of like letting it happen. There was more integration, that sort of a thing. Then I'm not going to get into like the details of the whole journey because that's not necessarily important, but I'm going to get into, I'll get into the details of 2 past lives in particular that really came through to me. And spirit has shown me like past lives in the past, but not specifics. Like, they kind of showed me that I had a past life as an Indigenous woman, and I was an elder in a tribe and a leader in a tribe. They've showed me that before. They've showed me that I am tied to ancient Egypt and China as well, like ancient China and like that sort of Asian culture. So I know that I've had past lives in, other cultures and areas of the world, but no specifics, nothing that has really helped heal anything in this life, if that makes sense. This memory was like really different. This memory was so different, and it like makes me emotional, like thinking about it. They showed me a past life where the 1940s, it was in the 1940s, and I know that for sure. This happened in the 1940s. I was young. I was maybe 20, 30s, early adult, around maybe the age I am now. I'm 30. I'll be 31 in October. And I was married, and they showed me who I was married to. Like, I know this person in my lifetime now. Not that that's important, but I was married and I had kids, and my husband, and I was pregnant, and my husband unexpectedly died in a plane crash in the 1940s. Daddy didn't come home one day. And when I tell you I felt like I was reliving that moment over again. I'll insert like a little clip here because I felt called to just kind of like film myself processing it, because if you follow me, you know that I film a lot of my journey because I have no shame in like sharing vulnerability and sharing emotion. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I'll insert a little clip here. As you can see, the emotion is very real. The emotion was very real. It was this guttural pain. And what they showed me in this lifetime, that was just one memory that they showed me, but they told me that in this specific life, I lost so much. There was a lot of grief. And I died alone. And I never really got over, like, I was widowed, and it was just a really hard life, basically. And they told me that the evolution of the soul, it's all part of the evolution of the soul. That was a lifetime of like a really deep healing, or sorry, not healing, really deep lessons, like big lessons. It's like the number 8 keeps coming to mind. It's like 8 levels. I don't really know exactly. We'll see if more comes to me, but they were kind of showing it as like there's 8 levels of the evolution of the soul. Maybe there's more, maybe there's less, but 8 was kind of coming to mind. And that lifetime was like level 7 or something, where it was like really like experiencing a lot of deep hurt, a lot of deep loss, and really learning how to like let go. It's like I had everything and everything was taken away from me. And spirit, what they showed me is I really attach onto specifically relationships in this lifetime. Even when I know it's not good for me, I hold on. And it was just a deeper understanding of self. The reason I hold on so much in this lifetime is because in the past I've lost everything and I didn't fully heal that. So when I have something good, I want to hold on to it. I don't want to let it go, because I know my soul knows the pain of losing everything, and I subconsciously am afraid to lose everything again. So that's also why it's difficult for me to let go specifically of relationships. And that just added a whole deeper understanding for me myself, and realizing like, oh my God, we really do bring things over from past lifetimes if we haven't healed those things yet. If we haven't healed those things yet, we will bring it over for us to heal in this lifetime. And, know that healing's happening. You don't necessarily need to know experiences that you've had in past lives for that healing to happen. And I will kind of get more into that as I continue with this episode, because we're not supposed to remember our past lives. We're supposed to come here with a blank slate, because if we did remember our past lives, it's like they showed me a little window. They showed me a little window into the soul and just a little peek into a couple of my past lives, just to better understand myself. But you can go down a rabbit hole, like I could understand if people remember their past lives, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I want to look into it. I want to learn about it. And it's kind of like you've experienced it. There's a reason you're coming into this life with a blank slate. You don't need to like dive into everything. Focus on you, focus on the here, focus on the now. It can turn into like a little bit of a rabbit hole, which I believe is why like we're not supposed to know. And if we come into this life knowing everything that's happened, it's like I'm gonna cry for I'm like, who are my kids? Who are the kids that I had? What souls are they? Like, I don't know what souls they were. I'm like, who is this person? Who is that person? Like, oh my gosh, like wanting to know everything. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's actually really, really important to have a blank slate and not to remember the details. They will show you certain memories if it is beneficial for you, but it won't necessarily be beneficial for everybody. Again, all paths are different. So this is why I say don't like go into a journey with the intention of trying to remember a past life, because it actually can do, more harm than good if you're not supposed to remember. I believe that, they won't show you something if you're not supposed to see it. So don't worry about that. But I also want to say, like, there's no need to like try to figure it out, I guess is my point. But they showed me a little window into that in my past life. And they also explained there will be a time in everybody's lives where in one lifetime they will really experience deep loss. And it's a part of the evolution of the soul. Everyone will experience a lifetime where they do have to go through that. So what Spirit was showing me is, honey, not that I'm not going to experience loss in this lifetime, because you will experience loss in every life that you live. However, they wanted me to know it is safe to receive. It is safe to receive. It is safe to receive, because I personally, I hold on and I attach and I don't let go. I'm afraid to let go. But if I attach too much and I don't let go, then I'm not receiving. It's like that. You need to let go in order to receive. And I'm too afraid to let go. My soul's too afraid to let go because of what I've experienced in the past. So it's like they want me to know, honey, it is safe for you to receive in this lifetime. You've already have had that lifetime where you had everything and you've lost everything. So it was just like a deeper understanding of me personally and my soul's journey and where my soul is kind of at in the evolution. Not that one is better than the other. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a competition. It's all happening simultaneously anyways. So it's we just, you get what I'm saying. But in this lifetime in particular for me, it is safe for me to let go. And because of that memory, I was really able to let go. It's like the integration that happened, the healing that happened was so powerful. Like I had a huge release. Like I cried and I just felt it like come out of my body. I don't even know how to explain it, but I knew that it was something I carried over from the past lifetime that I didn't heal yet in the past lifetime, and I was able to heal in this lifetime. This is my lifetime of healing. I'm choosing to heal in this lifetime, and a lot of what I'm bringing over in this lifetime, I'm healing. So there's deep healing happening for me in this lifetime that goes beyond only this lifetime. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely like healing that I'm doing from this lifetime, but now I'm like tapping into past life healing, and that's what my soul is doing during this lifetime. So don't get me wrong, all paths are different. This is kind of my journey at this time, and it was just fascinating to me. And I did a little Google search. I was like, I felt like I was living in North America is like what it felt like. And I typed in 1940s plane crash, and there was a plane crash in the 1940s. I mean, there's probably a plane crash every year. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure if I like typed in any year, like something would have popped up. I don't know. But I typed it up, and there was like something that came, and I didn't really like do much more research because I'm like, do you know what? I don't need to know. I'm not supposed to know. Like what I was supposed to know, Spirit showed me in the journey, and I had a literal physical release as a result of it. Like I felt it leave my body, and they were telling me like, honey, you are healing. You are finally learning to release this attachment. You are learning to let go. I wasn't able to do it in the last lifetime. I took it to my grave is what they showed me. I took it to my grave. I wasn't able to heal it. So now I'm healing it. And I died alone. So when I saw that message on the car that said, you will never be alone again, it makes sense that I got so emotional. It was my soul that was my soul really felt that, even though logical Brittany didn't. So that just made sense on a whole like deeper layer as well. And then another past life memory that came through, I'm not sure if it was the same lifetime. I feel like it was, but I'm not 100% sure. And it's funny, before I get into the other past life memory, I was sitting out here and I had these couches like open up. So it was like a bed, and I was just all cozy and laying down, and I have a beautiful view of like the mountains and the trees. So I feel really like held by nature and Mother Earth. It's like the perfect little spot to do my little journeys. And there was this eagle that wouldn't stop like flying around. It was crazy. And it was just like this eagle just kept coming back through the journey, and I just knew it was very divine. It was like very spirit led. And anyways, that's just a little side note. Eagles are like very significant for me. Anyways, the other past life memory that came through that I brought over into this lifetime. So I've had like back pain for a lot of my life. Sciatica, if you know what sciatica is, it's this really intense pain. And I was a server for 8 years, and man, at the end of my shifts, like during my shifts, I'd be limping sometimes. It was just so much pain. And, I really believe that our soul communicates with us through our body. Our soul communicates with us through our heart, and our body is always trying to tell us something. I believe that dis-ease comes from past traumas, and our body is always trying to communicate with us. Again, this is my personal belief. You don't need to agree, but I believe that, my back pain, it's like, what is it trying to tell me? Where does it stem from? I believe that there was something there, but I didn't really know what it was. And again, I wasn't like trying to stress, like, what is it? Where is it from? Blah, blah, blah. Just like on my healing journey. And about a couple months ago, or earlier this year, a while ago now, it was earlier this year. Like I want to say like not January. It would have been like maybe about March. I did a mushroom journey, and that was maybe the last one that I did before this one. Yeah, that was the last mushroom journey that I did. So a bit ago in March, the last one that I did, there was a lot of healing that happened, and I felt this like zap down my back, and I got the message of like, we're healing you. Like energetic surgery is what they were kind of communicating with me, and they were like helping release like toxins from my body. And I felt this like energetic zap like down my back, like where the sciatica like runs. And I kind of got the message of like, we're healing your back. And I was like, oh my God, like, is this not going to be an issue for me anymore? Because again, like my back was really an issue for me. It was like, if you have sciatica, it was very painful, and it would be like on and off. It's not like I dealt with it every single day, but like when I was a server, it was so bad, just so painful. And anyways, I was like, this would be really nice, because whenever I walk for extended periods of time, it's always an issue. I could never like go hiking. It was always an issue. So anyways, I was like, oh my gosh, like, are they healing me? Like, this is so cool. Like, we'll see what happens. And after that like zap, I, knock on wood, I did not feel the pain again. And I remember like going on a really long hike, and normally I would have felt it and I didn't feel any pain in my back. So I was like, this is so interesting. Like, I wonder if this is healed or what this is. But I also kind of in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, they heal it, but like why was it there? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a deeper layer of understanding needs to kind of come about for me to actually like heal this back pain. It's more than them just taking it away from me. So whatever, I was just like enjoying like not having the back pain. And since then, like, I haven't had any of the back pain. And during that time, during that journey, a couple months before then, there was this girl that entered my life, and we started hanging out like here and there. She was introduced to me through another really good friend of mine, and we started to become friends. And it's crazy because her husband this is crazy. And disclaimer, I just like want you guys to know that I have so much love for her. Like, I have so much love for her. Like, I really do. Her husband was my first boyfriend. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, it's just the truth. He was like my first boyfriend, but like, it was like puppy love. Like, it wasn't even love. Like, we never even said we loved each other. It was nothing serious, like nothing serious at all. We dated for maybe a couple months. Like, honestly, I never really counted him to be a boyfriend because it wasn't really anything, nothing physical. It was just, I don't know. Anyways, it was just interesting. Like, when I met her, I was like, what? That's your, like, what? Like, I was like, like, that's crazy. Like, whatever. And like, because it was like not serious at all between like him and I, like, it's totally not a big deal at all. I know it sounds weird, but not a big deal at all. Anyways, so the pain in my back, that mushroom journey kind of like healed soon after her and I started hanging out a little bit. And at the time, like, I made like no correlation to it. Fast forward to yesterday, they showed me a past life where, and I know this is going to sound so weird. And again, like, you can believe me, you don't need to believe me, whatever. I know it sounds crazy, but this was the experience that I experienced. And I know it to be true in my soul. In a past life, this is so crazy. Her and I were like best friends. I don't know if we were like best friends or sisters, or we were so close like sisters. I don't know the detail, but they made it very clear to me that she backstabbed me, essentially. I was with this same guy, this soul in a past life, and I guess she was in love with him, and because she was friends with me, she didn't know how to tell me, and it turned into her going behind my back and like sleeping with him, or him cheating on me with her, and them having this whole thing and me not knowing, and her being like, because she genuinely was a friend to me, like, she genuinely loved me, but she in that life just didn't have the ability to be honest with me. So it turned into this deceitful going behind my back. And in that lifetime, because of the ego, it was like backstabbed, and it ruined our relationship. And we were like soul sisters, whether we were actual sisters in that lifetime or just best friends, I don't know. But it was like backstabbed. And when they were showing me this memory, the pain in my back all came back, like so much pain. And I'm sitting there so uncomfortable, and I'm realizing the correlation, like, oh my God, I brought this into this lifetime because her and I didn't heal that in the past life. We didn't heal our relationship in the past life. So I brought it into this life. And when she came into my life in this life, that's when we started doing the healing, I guess, because our souls are healing by reconnecting. It's when they took away the pain, but I needed to bring it to my awareness for it to really kind of go away. So in that past life memory that came through, it was so crazy, actually. Like, I've never experienced this before, but it felt like we were signing soul contracts, and I was like letting her back in because it was my choice to let her back in and my choice to heal. Because in this lifetime, I'm choosing healing. And of course, like, I love her so much. She has done absolutely nothing. Like, she's been nothing but an angel to me, like genuinely nothing but an angel to me. See, she's such a beautiful person, such a beautiful soul. I feel so connected with her. So like, I want to make it so clear that like, there's like obviously no resentment, because obviously that sounds crazy. Like this was in a past life, which is also why coming into new lifetimes, we start with a clean slate, like a blank slate. But it's interesting, by her and I being friends and reconnecting and healing, it's healing the wounds of the past life, and it's safe for her to be with him. Like it's safe for her soul to be with him while being friends with me, because I genuinely don't want him. Like I wasn't supposed to be with him, but in the past, it's like, instead of having the ability to be honest, because, you know, people lie because we're not able to tell the truth. You know, it's the ego trying to protect us. And I understand that. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like in the past life, though, ego getting in the way, we weren't able to heal and reconnect. So in this lifetime, it's like, it's safe for her to be with him, and it's safe for her to be friends with me. I don't want him. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was crazy, because in this soul journey that I had, I was like signing a contract, and I was like welcoming her back into my life. Like I needed to like choose to heal. And obviously I choose to heal. Like she's a lovely soul, and I welcomed her back in, and I felt this like pain in my back dissipate, and I felt my womb space release something, like my body released something. And it's interesting, like my womb space, because if there was like in the past life, you know, if he was sleeping with me but also sleeping with her, like the energy transfer happened. So I was carrying something in my womb space as also that needed to be released. And this back pain, like I felt it so, like it was so painful during the journey. And then as I welcomed her back in and like chose to heal, I felt it like dissipate and like really release from my body. It was crazy. And it's interesting, because her and I are planning on hanging out in a couple weeks from now, and I'm actually going out to see her. She lives about like 45 minutes away from me, and ever since her coming into my life, it's interesting, she's been like coming out to see me. When she first was introduced to me, she came out because we were introduced through a mutual friend, and the day she came out, I was going through something really difficult, which is like kind of weird. I was crying a lot, not expecting to meet somebody new, and I kind of felt bad that I'm like going through a lot and crying, and she's just kind of there holding space for me. And then the second time we met, the same thing, she came out to me, and there was something I was really going through again, coincidentally, and she helped me. She gave me like energy healing, and she was there for me. And I'm feeling, you know, my human mind is feeling bad, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl's always coming out to me. She always happens to be coming out to me when I'm going through something hard, and she's always there for me. And what spirit kind of showed me is this is her soul kind of repaying me, like karmic debt, which karma, like it kind of like I understood it in a whole other way too, because I'm like feeling bad about her coming out to me all the time, because she's been the one driving out to me, just the way it's happened. But it's like her soul genuinely wants to, and she's told me, she's like, no, like I want to. And she's like, I felt good being there for you. She's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it filled her up to be there for me. So it's like her soul genuinely wanted to, but my human mind is like, I want to be friends with her. I want her to know that I will drive out to her too. And it's funny, because before this like mushroom journey, we planned to hang out, and I told her, I was like, let me come out to you this time. Like I'm going to come out to you. And she said, okay, or whatever. So I'm going to go out to her. But what they showed me is me going out to her is actually very symbolic, because it's me accepting her back in on a soul level, and me choosing to heal, and me choosing to reconnect our soul sisterhood, if that even makes sense, which I know sounds crazy. But so they told me, like, don't feel bad. This is her soul wanting to come out to you. It's her soul's way of being there for you through hard times, kind of like like karma, like karmic debt. But again, it's not like it's like karma, like she has to go through something hard. It's like her wanting to be there for me. Like her soul wants to repay what's happened. So it's interesting, like if people in your life now, what they kind of showed me, if there's people that are wanting to do something for you, like they genuinely out of the goodness of their heart want to do something for you, receive it, because it could be their soul paying back something they owe you karmically through past lifetimes, and it'll come in a way where they genuinely want to. So it's like they are getting something out of it too, because they want to, and it's okay to receive it. You don't need to feel bad. You don't need to feel like you have to repay them immediately. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's so much more complex than that, and our lives and our soul paths are so much more complex than that. So they just like really showed me, like, this was her way of like being there for me, her being there for me when I needed somebody to be there for me, when I needed like a soul family member to be there for me, even though I didn't really understand it at the time. And now that like she's come back into my life and I've like let her in, I've choosing to heal. And like I said, like there's like literally she's done nothing wrong. She's been nothing but a fucking angel. I have so much love for her. Like I want to make that very clear, because I know it could sound weird me saying like, oh, she owes me from a past life. Like that's like not, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to make that very clear. It's just kind of like how everything unfolded and how it unfolded just very naturally. And I just have a deeper understanding of it now. And Spirit was just like, don't feel bad that like she's been the one coming out to you. And coincidentally, like when she comes out to me, there happens to be like something that goes on in my life like the day before or the day of, where I'm just so overwhelmed and kind of needing someone to be there for me. So oh my God, there's a hummingbird. Oh my God, there's a hummingbird. Sorry, just like right outside my window and it's gone. A red hummingbird. That gave me chills. Woo! That was so beautiful. But it just like unfolded perfectly. Like I want to make it clear, I don't think she owes me anything at all. But by her giving to me, like, and genuinely wanting to, and it made her feel good. Like she even said to me, like, it makes me feel good to be here for you. Her soul is wanting to do it because you get it. You get what I'm saying. So anyways, I'm excited to go see her, and I'm excited to like tell her about this, because it's going to make it just like makes sense. Like what are the coincidences? It's like, is it a coincidence that like he was my first boyfriend and now like they're married? Like she's supposed to have him. It's safe for her to have him, and it's safe for her and I to be friends because we're soul sisters. And do you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so crazy. So crazy. And don't get me wrong, like I'm sure in past lives I've done things to backstab other people, and I'm sure that like I'm paying out my karma in ways that I don't necessarily understand and I don't need to understand. So I want to make that clear too. I'm not saying I'm the only person that I'm not saying that I've only have been done wrong. Like no, like I'm sure that like I've done wrong to others. Like I've done wrong to others in this lifetime, because we are human and we all make mistakes. And it's often because, you know, we're not able to, you know, like I said before, people lie because it's the ego wanting to keep you safe, not having the ability to be honest, because, you know, sometimes because of past trauma, we feel like being honest is only going to bring about more of that trauma, more of that pain. Like I know me personally, like when I was a kid, if I was like honest with my parents about things, I would like get in trouble. So it's like that. I remember being like with my friendships, not fully being honest with my friends about things because I was afraid if I was honest, then they would get mad at me. Yeah, just like silly little things. Like you get what I'm saying, but it's a result of the ego trying to protect you. So I just like want to make that very clear. I'm not saying like I'm a saint at all, because like I've done my fair share of wrongdoings, and I'm sure in past lives I have as well. And I know that karma, like the scales balancing, it all happens naturally, and it's all divine, and its spirit is helping us, guide us through it, helping us repay our karmic debts, whatever it is you want to call it. And so I just want to make that very clear as well. And again, she's an angel. I love her so much. She's a soul sister. I cannot wait to see her. So again, like I just want to make that very clear, because I know that story sounds really weird, but it really kind of showed me that, yeah, like we do carry things over from past lives. And for me, it manifested in the pain, in the form of literally back pain, being backstabbed, and then the attachment with losing, like I lost everything, and which is partly why I attach onto relationships, being afraid to let go, like abandonment wound that I didn't even realize I had, that came over from a past life that I'm now been given the opportunity to heal in this lifetime. And spirits also showed me, like, you know, it's safe for you to receive in this lifetime. This is your lifetime of healing. This is your lifetime of receiving. So receive what comes into your life. It is safe to receive. So I also want to say, regardless of where you're at on your soul's journey, your soul's path, trust the process. It can be hard to understand why some things happen to some people, why other things happen to other people, why they don't, why some people's lives are so great while other people go through a lot of turmoil. Just know that your soul will go through it all, whether it's in this lifetime, a future lifetime, a past lifetime. And essentially your soul is going through it all right now in this moment, because time's not linear. So we conceptualize it as future and past lives because we are experiencing time linear, but it's all happening at once. So just be kind to others, because you don't know what they're experiencing in this lifetime. You don't know what lessons their soul has chosen to learn in this lifetime. So be very kind, because some people do have to go through harder lessons in certain lifetimes. And there are other lifetimes where people just receive more and life is easier for them. And it's not because, and it's because they do deserve it, because they have experienced it in other lifetimes. Not saying you deserve the bad things to happen to you, but just know that you will experience all of it through the evolution of the soul in the different lifetimes. And again, know that it is all happening right now, regardless of what experiences you are experiencing in this lifetime. I hope that makes sense. And I know that, is kind of a lot to grasp, but it's like we are all going to go through all of it. Like we all go through all of it. We all go through the pains, the sorrows, the lessons, the joys, the abundance, the gifts. We will have a lifetime where we experience it all. So if you are going through a lifetime where you are experiencing a lot of loss, a lot of hardship, like I just really want to send you my love, really. And I have full body chills as I'm saying this, like genuinely hang in there. Hang in there. Know that you are a very evolved soul. If you are in a lifetime where you are experiencing a lot of hardship and loss, it is because you are ready to learn those lessons and to experience those hardships. And I know it is not easy. And I know it might be extremely hard and it might be one of your most difficult lifetimes. But know that it will be repaid back to you, whether it be in this lifetime or a future lifetime. Know that you will experience a lifetime where life is easier for you. And I know that can be really hard to hear, especially if you are going really through like difficulty in this lifetime. It's kind of like I want it now. Like I don't want to have to wait another lifetime or whatever it may be. And not saying you're going to have to wait another lifetime. Like there's blessings in every lifetime as well. And the more you dive into hell, the more you'll be able to reach heaven, and everything is going to balance out in the end. So, and it's just more complicated than what we can comprehend. So my heart really goes out to you again if you are in a lifetime where you are experiencing like heavy loss, heavy grief, because it's not easy. But maybe this gives you a little bit of hope, is just knowing that it is all part of the evolution of the soul through our multiple lifetimes that we do live, and it will be repaid back to you. It will be. Yeah. Wow, there's like a white bird soaring. I was like, is that a dove? But I don't know if we have doves around here, but it's like a beautiful white bird. There's 3 of them. Wow. Okay. Anyways, I think I'm going to leave this episode here. So know that sometimes letting go and our attachments, sometimes it does run deeper than what we've just experienced in this lifetime. So just focus on your path, your healing, and trust that these things will come to light when you're ready for them, and know that healing is happening naturally, whether you consciously are aware of it or not. For example, with my friend entering my life, I was given a window into the soul to understand what's really happening, but I don't necessarily need to know that in order for the healing to happen. So just know that, and don't question why things happen the way they happen. If people want to give something to you, receive it. It could be their soul wanting to repay something back to you. If you feel like you want to give something to somebody, do it, because maybe it's your soul repaying them for whatever reason. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't need to think about it too hard. Just trust it. Trust that everything is happening for you, and spirit really is on your side. And with karma, it's not like they're trying to punish you or anything like that, which is why I say, with my friend wanting to come out to me, she genuinely wanted to. Her soul wants to. It's you're going to be programmed to want to do these things, and it's going to fill you up. It's not they're going to make you go through pain, karma. Karma. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I want to make that very clear as well. Yeah, it was just a really interesting, profound journey. It's a window into the soul. It's I'm sitting here and I had one window open, and I kept just hearing a window into the soul. It's they showed me a little window into my soul, into some other journeys that I've had through the evolution of my soul. And it was just really interesting. And there was other things that came up on my journey yesterday as well, but they're more so personal and not necessary to share. But those were the pieces that I really felt called to share today. So let me know what you thought. And again, this is my opinion. This is my experience. Yes, I really believe this to be true. However, it's okay if you don't. It's okay if you think differently. Yeah, let me know if you've experienced anything like that. And again, just focus on you. Focus on your healing in the here and the now. Don't look for these things. Know that they will come on your path if they're meant to. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Check out my other podcast, the Multiple Truths podcast that I host with my good friend Holly. Follow me on the other social medias. I post every day on TikTok, on Instagram. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. It really does help me out. I will have the links for everything in the description box below. I'm sending you so much love. And until next time, bye guys.
This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion.